I'm Natasha, and today, I'm excited to guide you through a powerful listening and speaking session designed to help you sound more natural in real conversations. If you're new to the channel, we create daily English lessons that help millions of learners improve their fluency step by step. So if you want to speak English confidently and think in English more easily, you're in the right place. In today's lesson, we're going to explore 125 essential English phrases for daily conversation, phrases that real people use every single day in the US, UK, Canada, Australia, and all over the English-speaking world. These aren't textbook expressions. These are the words and phrases you hear at cafes, at work, on the phone, while traveling, and in everyday life. My goal today is simple: help you understand the phrases, feel comfortable using them, and practice speaking them aloud so they become part of your natural English. So sit back, relax, and let this lesson play like a podcast. Listen, repeat, and imagine yourself using these phrases in real life. That's how fluency grows. Let's begin with something we all use daily: friendly, natural greetings, the kind native speakers rely on when starting conversations. Instead of only saying, "How are you?" try these warm, easy openers. They feel friendly and instantly make your English sound more natural. Repeat after me. How's everything going? What have you been up to lately? How have you been? Great. These are phrases you'll hear everywhere: at work, at school, at the gym, meeting friends, or just catching up with neighbors. Now imagine running into a friend after not seeing them for a while. Instead of simply saying hello, you might say, "Hey, it's been a while. How have you been?" That feels more personal and fits naturally into everyday English. Another phrase that native speakers use often is, "It's good to see you." This one works with friends, coworkers, classmates, almost anyone. It adds a warm, positive tone to the conversation. Let's practice. It's good to see you. Nice job. Next, let's move into phrases for clarifying or asking someone to repeat themselves. These phrases are incredibly common, especially in busy environments like restaurants, streets, or offices. Instead of saying "what" or "repeat," try using "Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say that again, please?" These sound polite, natural, and confident. Imagine you're ordering coffee, and the barista speaks quickly. You can simply say, "Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say it one more time?" This is exactly what native speakers say in that situation. Now, let's move into phrases for giving your opinion naturally. As you improve your English, you'll want to express thoughts in a more flexible and advanced way. Instead of repeating "I think" every time, try these. "In my opinion," "from my perspective," "the way I see it." These expressions help you sound thoughtful and fluent during discussions. Repeat after me. "In my opinion," "from my perspective," "the way I see it." Great. Now imagine someone asks you about online learning. Instead of only saying, "I think it's useful," you might say, "From my perspective, online learning gives people more freedom and flexibility." That sounds smooth and natural. Let's continue with agreement phrases used daily in conversations. Instead of only saying, "I agree," native speakers often say, "That's so true. You're absolutely right. I couldn't agree more." Repeat aloud. "That's so true. You're absolutely right. I couldn't agree more." Excellent. Picture this. A friend says, "Practicing a little every day helps you learn faster." You might respond with, "You're absolutely right. It really does." Simple, natural, real. Now, let's practice polite disagreement, which is a very important skill. Instead of saying "no" or "I disagree," you can use soft, polite phrases like, "I see your point, but I'm not sure I agree." That's one way to look at it. Repeat with me. "I see your point, but I'm not sure I agree." That's one way to look at it. Great. Imagine a friend says, "You don't need to practice speaking to be fluent." You might reply, "I see your point, but speaking regularly is actually really important." This keeps the conversation polite and respectful. Next, let's add some casual everyday responses, friendly phrases that native speakers use constantly. Repeat after me. Sounds good to me. I get what you mean. No way. That's interesting. These are great for keeping conversations lively and natural. Imagine someone invites you to dinner tomorrow. Instead of only saying, "Okay," you can respond, "Sounds good to me. Let's do it." That sounds relaxed and friendly. Another common situation: someone tells you something surprising. Instead of saying, "Really?" every time, you can say, "No way. That's amazing." Perfect. Now, let's learn polite request phrases, because sounding respectful is key in English communication. Instead of saying, "Give me your phone," try, "Could you give me your phone, please? Would you mind closing the window?" Repeat with me. "Could you give me your phone, please? Would you mind closing the window?" Excellent. Let's imagine you're in a meeting and the window is open. Instead of saying, "Close the window," you can say, "Would you mind closing the window?" This shows politeness and confidence. And now, let's move into phrases for expressing gratitude that go beyond "thank you." Repeat after me. "I really appreciate it. That means a lot to me. Thanks a million." Fantastic. Imagine someone helps you with a difficult task. You can say, "I really appreciate it. That means a lot to me." That sounds heartfelt and natural. We're building a strong foundation with phrases you can use every single day, and we've only just begun. In the next part, we'll explore more practical phrases for compliments, apologies, transitions, curiosity, and daily life situations, all designed to help you speak more naturally and confidently. Let's continue building your natural English with phrases that native speakers use constantly in everyday conversations. These expressions help you connect with people, sound friendly, and communicate clearly without sounding too formal or too direct. We'll begin with something everyone likes to hear: compliments. Compliments play a huge role in building positive connections, whether you're talking to friends, coworkers, or even meeting someone for the first time. Instead of repeating "good job," try using these more expressive and natural phrases. "You did a great job." "I love your idea." "That's really impressive." Repeat after me. "You did a great job." "I love your idea." "That's really impressive." Good. Now imagine your friend shows you a project or design they've been working on. Instead of just saying, "Good," you might say, "You did a great job on this. It really looks amazing." That sounds warm, genuine, and encouraging. Next, let's move into apologizing naturally, because everyone needs to apologize sometimes. Instead of only saying "sorry," you can use phrases that sound more sincere and polite. Repeat these with me. "I'm really sorry about that. Please forgive me. I didn't mean to do that." Great. Imagine you accidentally bump into someone in a crowded store. Instead of just saying "sorry," you can say, "I'm really sorry about that. I didn't mean to." This shows respect and responsibility. Now let's explore phrases that help keep conversations smooth and engaging. Transition phrases. These are extremely useful when you want to switch topics naturally or connect your ideas during a conversation. Try these. "By the way, speaking of that, that reminds me." Repeat. "By the way, speaking of that, that reminds me." Wonderful. Imagine you're talking about your weekend and suddenly remember something important. You can say, "By the way, did you hear about the new cafe opening downtown?" This helps the conversation flow naturally without sounding abrupt. Now, let's look at phrases for showing interest in someone else's story, one of the most valuable skills in English conversation. Instead of repeatedly saying "really," You can use these phrases to show curiosity and engagement. That's amazing. Tell me more. Really? What happened next? I'd love to hear more about that. Repeat after me. That's amazing. Tell me more. Really? What happened next? I'd love to hear more about that. Excellent. Imagine a friend tells you they traveled to another country recently. Instead of replying with one word, you can say, "That's amazing. Tell me more. What was your favorite part of the trip?" This makes you sound friendly, involved, and curious. Next, let's move into suggestion phrases, very useful when you want to offer ideas in a natural way. Instead of saying, "Let's do this," native speakers often use softer, more cooperative expressions like, "How about we? Why don't we? We could always try." Repeat after me. How about we? Why don't we? We could always try. Good. Now imagine you're deciding where to eat with a friend. Instead of saying, "Let's eat here," you might say, "How about we try that new place near the park?" That sounds easy, relaxed, and polite. Next, let's practice phrases for partially agreeing, useful when you agree with someone but still have your own viewpoint. Repeat. I see what you mean. But maybe. That's true. But on the other hand, you've got a point. But I think. Let's practice. I see what you mean. But maybe. That's true. But on the other hand, you've got a point. But I think. Great. Imagine someone says, "Learning new vocabulary is enough to become fluent." You can reply, "That's true. But on the other hand, speaking practice is also extremely important." This sounds respectful, thoughtful, and natural in discussions. Now, let's boost your emotional expression with phrases for excitement. Phrases native speakers use all the time, instead of simply saying, "I'm happy." Repeat after me. I'm so excited about this. I can't wait. This is going to be great. Perfect. Imagine your friend invites you to a big event next weekend. Instead of just saying, "I'm happy," you can say, "I can't wait. This is going to be great." It makes your English lively and expressive. Now let's learn phrases to help calm someone down or reassure them, comforting phrases used often in daily life. Repeat. Don't worry. Everything will be fine. Take it easy. It's not the end of the world. Good. Imagine someone is stressed about an upcoming exam. You might say, "Take it easy. Everything will be fine. You've prepared well." This shows support and calmness. Next, let's focus on filler phrases, natural expressions people use when they need a moment to think. These help you avoid awkward silence and sound more fluent. Repeat after me. Well, let me think. That's a good question. I haven't thought about that before. Great. Imagine someone asks you, "What's your biggest dream for the future?" You can naturally respond, "That's a good question. Let me think." These small expressions make a big difference in sounding more native-like. And finally, for this part, let's learn phrases that connect ideas, smoothly used constantly in natural English conversation and storytelling. Instead of stopping or jumping too quickly, try. Speaking of which, that reminds me, by the way. Repeat again. Speaking of which, that reminds me, by the way. Perfect. These phrases keep your speaking smooth and engaging, exactly like native speakers do. In the next part, we'll explore phrases for disagreements, emotional expressions, preferences, politeness, storytelling, and more everyday situations you'll use constantly. Let's continue strengthening your natural English with phrases that native speakers use every single day. In this part, we'll dive deeper into emotional expressions, everyday reactions, and practical phrases for real conversations. We'll start with expressing surprise, because English speakers use many different reactions depending on the situation. Instead of always saying, "Wow," try these more expressive phrases. "That's unbelievable. I can't believe it. Are you serious?" Repeat after me. That's unbelievable. I can't believe it. Are you serious? Great. Imagine a friend tells you they won a scholarship or changed careers. You can naturally respond, "That's unbelievable. I can't believe it. Congratulations." This shows excitement and genuine emotion. Now, let's learn some useful expressions for checking information politely. These phrases help you make sure you understood something correctly without sounding rude or confused. Repeat after me. Do you mean? So what you're saying is, just to be clear. Excellent. Imagine your teacher explains a new assignment, and you're not sure about the details. You can ask, just to be clear, do we need to submit it today or tomorrow? This shows you're listening carefully and want to avoid misunderstandings. Next, let's move to phrases that show curiosity, some of the most powerful tools for keeping conversations alive and meaningful. Instead of simply asking, why, or how, try these. What made you decide that? How did that happen? What's the story behind that? Let's practice. What made you decide that? How did that happen? What's the story behind that? Great. Imagine your friend says, I started learning Japanese. You can respond, that's interesting. What made you decide that? This feels friendly and shows real interest. Now let's explore phrases for giving advice politely and naturally. Native speakers rarely say only, you should. Instead, they soften their advice with these expressions. If I were you, my advice would be to, have you thought about? Repeat. If I were you, my advice would be to, have you thought about? Excellent. Imagine a friend is nervous about speaking English in public. You could say, if I were you, I'd practice with a small group first. It really helps build confidence. This sounds supportive and thoughtful. Next, let's practice phrases for making plans, used constantly in daily life. Instead of always saying, let's meet tomorrow, try these. Want to catch up tomorrow? Are you free this weekend? Let's set a time to meet. Repeat after me. Want to catch up tomorrow? Are you free this weekend? Let's set a time to meet. Perfect. Imagine messaging a friend. You can naturally say, are you free this weekend? Let's set a time to meet. That feels friendly and smooth. Now, let's learn empathy. Phrases, expressions that show understanding and emotional support. These are incredibly important in real conversations, especially when someone is going through something difficult. Repeat. I know how you feel. That must be tough. I can imagine what you're going through. Great. Imagine your friend says they didn't pass an exam or had a stressful week. Instead of just saying, sorry, you can gently respond, that must be tough. I can imagine what you're going through. This shows compassion and strengthens your connection. Next, let's build your storytelling skills with phrases that make your stories vivid. These are extremely common in English when describing events. Repeat after me. All of a sudden, before I knew it, and guess what happened next? Excellent. Imagine telling a story about a surprising moment. You can say, all of a sudden, the lights went out, and before I knew it, everyone started laughing. These phrases make your storytelling engaging and dynamic. Now let's practice phrases for expressing certainty, used when you want to sound confident and sure about something. Repeat. I'm positive about that. There's no doubt in my mind. I can say for certain. Very good. Imagine someone asks if English speaking practice really helps. You might respond, there's no doubt in my mind. Regular practice makes a huge difference. That sounds strong and confident. Next, let's learn phrases for expressing uncertainty. Polite alternatives that help you avoid sounding too direct or too unsure. Repeat. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to check on that. It's hard to say. Great. Imagine someone asks what time a store closes. Instead of saying, I don't know, you can say, I'm not quite sure. I'll have to check on that. This sounds natural and polite. Now, let's add some powerful emotional expressions for happiness and sadness. These give your English more personality and depth. Repeat after me. I'm over the moon. I'm thrilled about it. That made my day. Now the sad ones. I'm feeling down. That really upset me. I'm heartbroken. Excellent. Imagine your friend surprises you with a thoughtful gift. You can genuinely say, that made my day. I'm over the moon. Or if something upsetting happens, I'm feeling a bit down today. It's been a tough week. These phrases help you sound more expressive and natural. Next, let's learn polite ordering phrases for restaurants, cafes, and shops' everyday situations where direct language can sound too strong. Repeat. I'd like. Could I have? I'll take. Perfect. Imagine ordering at a cafe. I'd like a cappuccino, please. That is short, polite, and native sounding. Lastly, for this part, let's practice preference phrases great for expressing likes and choices more fluently. Repeat. I'd rather. I prefer. I'm more into. Great. Imagine someone asks if you want to watch a movie or go for a walk. You might say, I'm more into movies tonight. I'd rather stay in. This sounds natural and conversational. In the next part, we'll move into essential small talk phrases, encouragement, congratulating others, offering help, asking for permission, responding to bad news, and more. Let's continue building your natural English with phrases you'll hear and use in everyday conversations all around the world. In this part, we'll focus on social interaction, encouragement, responding to news, and developing polite communication in both casual and formal settings. We'll begin with small talk phrases, simple but essential expressions for starting friendly conversations. These are extremely common among native speakers, especially when meeting someone new or interacting with acquaintances. Repeat after me. Lovely weather today, isn't it? Have you been keeping busy? So, what do you do? Great. Imagine you're at a social event and want to start a conversation. Instead of standing quietly, you could say, have you been keeping busy lately? This feels warm and confident, perfect for breaking the ice. Now, let's move into encouragement phrases, expressions that help motivate people around you. These are useful whether you're talking to friends, classmates, or coworkers. Repeat. You've got this. I believe in you. Don't worry. You'll do great. Excellent. Imagine your friend is nervous about taking an exam. You can say, you've got this. I believe in you. Just relax and do your best. These expressions feel supportive and uplifting. Next, let's practice congratulating others, a key part of friendly communication. Instead of only saying, congratulations, try adding more emotion. Well done. I'm so proud of you. That's fantastic news. Repeat after me. Well done. I'm so proud of you. That's fantastic news. Very good. Imagine a coworker gets promoted. You can say, that's fantastic news. Well done. I'm really proud of you. This sounds natural, warm, and genuine. Now, let's explore phrases for offering help, a polite way to show kindness and support in daily life. Repeat. Do you need a hand? Would you like me to help you with that? Is there anything I can do for you? Great! Imagine someone is carrying heavy bags. Instead of just watching, you can kindly ask, do you need a hand with those? This is exactly how native speakers offer help. Now let's move into asking for permission, an important part of polite communication. Instead of directly saying, can I? Try softer alternatives. Is it okay if I? Would it be all right if I? Do you mind if I? Repeat with me. Is it okay if I? Would it be all right if I? Do you mind if I? Excellent. Imagine you want to leave class early. You might say, Would it be all right if I left a bit early today? This sounds respectful and polite. Next, let's learn phrases for responding to bad news. These expressions show empathy and care when someone is dealing with something difficult. Repeat. I'm so sorry to hear that. That's really unfortunate. My heart goes out to you. Good. Imagine a friend shares sad news about a family situation. You can gently say, I'm so sorry to hear that. My heart goes out to you. This shows deep compassion and support. Now let's move to expressing joy for others, positive reactions that strengthen relationships. Repeat after me. I'm so happy for you. That's wonderful to hear. That makes me smile. Perfect. Imagine a friend tells you they passed their driving test. You can respond, I'm so happy for you. That's wonderful to hear. This feels genuine and uplifting. Next, let's explore formal politeness, which is essential in workplaces, meetings, and professional communication. Repeat. I would appreciate it if, could you kindly, may I ask you to hold on a moment? Very good. Imagine you're emailing a colleague. Instead of saying, send me the file, you can politely write, I would appreciate it if you could send me the file by this afternoon. This tone is professional and respectful. Now, let's learn phrases for expressing uncertainty in opinions, great for sounding thoughtful and careful during conversations. Repeat. It could be. I suppose so. I'm not completely sure. But, excellent. Imagine someone asks if a movie will be popular. You can respond, I suppose so, but I'm not completely sure. This sounds natural and balanced. Next, let's practice asking for clarification important when you want to understand something better without sounding confused. Repeat with me. Could you explain that a little more? What do you mean by that? Can you give me an example? Good. Imagine you're learning something new and want more detail. You can say, could you explain that a little more? I want to make sure I understand. Clear, polite, and effective. Now let's practice phrases that give you time to think, extremely helpful when you need a moment to organize your thoughts. Repeat after me. Let me see. That's an interesting point. Give me a moment to think about that. Excellent. Imagine someone asks you a deep question like, what motivates you the most? You can pause and say, that's an interesting point. Give me a moment to think about that. This sounds calm, reflective, and fluent. In the next part, we'll explore phone call phrases, misunderstanding phrases, shopping phrases, casual agreements, restaurant expressions, asking about time, possibilities, preferences, and more everyday essentials. Let's continue building your real-life English with practical phrases that native speakers use every day in situations like phone calls, shopping, dining out, and making casual plans. These expressions will help you sound more confident, natural, and fluent in all kinds of daily conversations. We'll start with something many learners find challenging: phone call phrases. Because you can't see the other person's face, phone English can feel a bit different. These phrases make conversations smoother and more professional. Repeat after me. Hello, this is your name speaking. Hi, may I speak to? Good morning. How can I help you? Great. Imagine you're calling your friend John, and someone else answers. Instead of asking, John there? You can say, Hi, may I speak to John, please? This sounds polite and natural. Now let's learn phrases for dealing with misunderstandings, which happen often in conversations, especially when speaking with people from different backgrounds. Repeat. Actually, what I meant was, I think you misunderstood me. Let me put it another way. Excellent. Imagine someone thinks you said Monday, but you actually meant Monday next week. You can clarify by saying, Actually, what I meant was next Monday. This keeps the conversation clear and respectful. Next, let's move to shopping phrases essential for buying clothes, groceries, or anything else. Instead of just saying, how much, try these more complete and polite expressions. How much does this cost? Could you tell me the price of this? Do you have this in a different size or color? Repeat after me. How much does this cost? Could you tell me the price of this? Do you have this in a different size or color? Perfect. Imagine you're shopping for shoes. Instead of saying, other size, you can say, do you have this in a size 40, please? This sounds friendly and respectful. Now let's practice casual agreement phrases, which make conversations feel relaxed and comfortable. Repeat. Exactly. That's right. I was just thinking the same thing. Great. Imagine your friend says, practicing every day helps you learn faster. You can respond naturally with, exactly. I was just thinking the same thing. This shows strong agreement and connection. Next, let's learn restaurant phrases. Incredibly common when ordering food or asking for things politely. Repeat after me. Could I have some water, please? I'll have the chicken, please. Could we have the check, please? Excellent. Imagine you're eating at a restaurant. Instead of saying, I want pizza, you can say, I'll have the pizza, please. Short, polite, and natural. Exactly like native speakers. Now let's practice phrases for asking about time useful in almost every daily situation. Repeat. Could you tell me the time, please? Do you know what time it is? What time does it start? Good. Imagine you're waiting for a movie to begin. Instead of saying, what time movie start, you can ask, do you know what time it starts? This is clear and polite. Next, let's explore expressing possibilities, a great way to sound more flexible and conversational. Repeat after me. There's a chance that it might be possible. Who knows? Maybe. Great. Imagine a friend asks if you'll join a trip next month. Instead of simply saying, maybe, you can say, there's a chance that I can join. I'll let you know soon. That sounds natural and open. Now let's practice preference phrases, which help you talk about your likes and choices more fluently. Repeat. I'm a big fan of. I really enjoy. I'd rather go with. Perfect. Imagine someone asks, tea or coffee? Instead of saying, I like tea, you can say, I'm a big fan of tea. I really enjoy it in the morning. Much more expressive and natural. Finally, let's learn phrases for ending phone calls politely. Small details that make your English sound mature and confident. Repeat. It was nice talking to you. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for calling. Excellent. Imagine you finish a phone call with a classmate. Instead of just saying, bye, try. It was nice talking to you. Talk to you soon. This leaves a warm impression and ends the conversation smoothly. In the next part, we'll explore travel English, hotel check-in phrases, airport communication, ticket buying, emergencies, market shopping, group suggestions, formal agreements, polite interruptions, and checking understanding, all essential for fluent daily conversations. In this part, we're moving into some of the most practical and widely used English phrases, the ones you'll need when traveling, booking hotels, navigating airports, buying tickets, and interacting politely in groups. These expressions come straight from real-life English and are used constantly by native speakers. Let's begin with travel English essential when you're in a new city and need directions or help finding places. Repeat after me. Could you tell me how to get to? Is this the right way to? How far is it from here? Great. Imagine you're in a new city and don't know where the train station is. Instead of simply asking, where train station? You can say, could you tell me how to get to the train station? Polite, clear, and natural. Now let's move into hotel check-in phrases, which are extremely useful when traveling abroad. Repeat. I have a reservation under the name. Could I check in, please? What time is checkout? Excellent. Imagine you walk into a hotel lobby and need to check in. Instead of saying, reservation, you can confidently say, I have a reservation under the name Daniel. Could I check in, please? This sounds professional and smooth. Next, let's practice airport phrases, something most learners find challenging because airports can be stressful and fast-paced. Repeat. Where is the check-in counter? Could you tell me the boarding gate? What time do we start boarding? Very good. Imagine you're at the airport and want to confirm your gate. You can ask, could you tell me the boarding gate for this flight, please? Native speakers use this exact sentence all the time. Now let's move to buying tickets for shows, transportation, or events. Repeat after me. I'd like to buy 1 ticket, please. Could I get 2 tickets for tonight's show? How much is a ticket for 1 adult? Great. Picture yourself at a train station. Instead of saying 1 ticket London, you can say, I'd like to buy 1 ticket to London, please. Polite, natural, and easy to understand. Next, let's prepare for situations we hope never happen, but must know how to handle. Emergencies. Repeat. I need help, please. Can you call the police? I need a doctor right away. Good. Imagine someone suddenly feels unwell in public. You can act quickly and say, I need a doctor right away. These phrases are clear and urgent, exactly what you need in emergencies. Now let's learn phrases for shopping at markets, especially useful when traveling in countries where bargaining is common. Repeat after me. How much is this? Can you give me a discount? Do you accept credit cards? Great. Imagine you're at a street market, looking at handmade souvenirs. Instead of just pointing and saying, price, you can ask, how much is this? Oh, do you accept credit cards? This makes you sound polite and confident. Next, let's practice group suggestion phrases, helpful when deciding where to go or what to do with friends or coworkers. Repeat. Shall we go now? Why don't we try this place? What if we do it another way? Excellent. Imagine your friends can't decide where to eat. You can step in and say, why don't we try that new restaurant near the corner? This sounds cooperative and friendly. Now, let's learn phrases for polite agreement in formal conversations, especially useful in meetings, presentations, or discussions. Repeat. I completely agree with you. That's exactly how I feel. You make a valid point. Perfect. Imagine your colleague suggests improving communication within the team. You could respond, you make a valid point. I completely agree with you. This sounds professional and supportive. Next, let's master polite interruption phrases, essential for entering conversations respectfully without being rude. Repeat after me. Sorry to interrupt, but can I add something here? If I may just say one thing, could I jump in for a moment? Great. Imagine you're in a meeting and want to share your opinion. Instead of talking over others, you can say, sorry to interrupt, but can I add something here? This is exactly how professionals communicate politely. Now let's learn checking understanding phrases, extremely helpful in group discussions, classes, or work situations. Repeat. Does that make sense? Are you with me so far? Do you follow what I mean? Excellent. Imagine you're explaining your idea to classmates or coworkers. You can say, are you with me so far? Does this make sense? It helps keep everyone on the same page and shows you care about clear communication. In the next part, we'll practice invitation responses, choices and preferences, polite disagreement, expressing frustration politely, asking for opinions, deeper agreement phrases, changing the subject naturally, confirming details, showing appreciation, and ending conversations smoothly. In this part, we'll explore some of the most practical and natural expressions used in social interactions. These phrases will help you respond politely to invitations, express preferences clearly, disagree respectfully, and maintain smooth, friendly conversations. Let's begin with phrases for accepting or declining invitations, something we all deal with often. Repeat after me. I'd love to. Thanks for inviting me. That sounds great. I'll be there. I really appreciate the invitation, but I won't be able to make it. Great. Imagine your friend invites you to dinner. If you want to go, you can say, that sounds great. I'd love to join. If you can't go, you can reply politely, I really appreciate the invitation, but I won't be able to make it this time. This keeps the conversation warm, even when you decline. Next, let's practice phrases for expressing preferences when choosing with others. Repeat. I'd rather go with this option. This works better for me. I think I'd prefer this one. Excellent. Imagine you're choosing a movie with friends. Instead of saying, I want action movie, you can say, I think I'd prefer an action movie. This works better for me tonight. This sounds natural and cooperative. Now, let's move into polite disagreement phrases, helpful when you want to express a different opinion without sounding rude. Repeat after me. I'm not sure I agree with that. I see it differently. That's an interesting point, but I think, great. Imagine someone says, watching movies isn't useful for learning English. You can respond with, that's an interesting point, but I think movies can really help with listening. This approach is respectful and keeps the conversation friendly. Next, let's explore phrases for expressing frustration in a polite, controlled way, useful in difficult or stressful situations. Repeat. This is a bit frustrating. I'm not too happy with this. I wish this was easier. Excellent. Imagine you're using an app and it keeps freezing. Instead of complaining aggressively, you can say, this is a bit frustrating. I wish this was easier to use. This expresses your feelings without sounding rude. Now, let's practice phrases for asking for opinions, especially helpful in group discussions or teamwork. Repeat after me. How do you feel about this? What's your take on this? Do you agree with that? Great. Imagine you're in a meeting and want feedback from your team. You can ask, what's your take on this idea? Do you think it could work? This invites others into the conversation naturally. Next, let's learn soft agreement phrases, which help you agree without sounding too strong or too passive. Repeat. I think you're right about that. I agree to some extent. That's a fair point. Excellent. Imagine someone says, listening practice really helps with fluency. You could respond, that's a fair point. I think you're right about that. This sounds thoughtful and balanced. Now let's practice phrases for changing the subject smoothly, something native speakers do often to move conversations forward. Repeat. By the way, speaking of that, before I forget. Good. Imagine you suddenly remember you need to ask a friend something. You can say, by the way, did you pick up the tickets for tomorrow? This transition feels natural and effortless. Now, let's look at confirming details, a helpful skill that prevents misunderstandings in both personal and professional conversations. Repeat after me. So, just to confirm, let me make sure I've got this right. We're meeting at 5, correct? Excellent. Imagine you're scheduling a meeting. You could say, so, just to confirm, we're meeting at 5 p.m., right? Clear, polite, and accurate. Next, let's explore phrases for showing appreciation deeper than just, thank you. Repeat. That was very kind of you. I really appreciate your help. Thanks a lot. I owe you one. Great. Imagine someone helps you carry your bags. You can say, thank you so much. That was very kind of you. I really appreciate it. This shows genuine gratitude. Finally, let's learn natural, casual goodbyes, used constantly in daily conversations. Repeat after me. I'd better get going. It was nice catching up. Talk to you later. Very good. Imagine you're ending a short chat with a classmate. Instead of only saying bye, try, "It was nice catching up. Talk to you later." It feels friendly and leaves a positive impression. In the next part, we'll practice introductions, questions for new people, politely refusing offers, giving compliments, expressing agreement and disagreement, asking for repetition, showing curiosity, making promises, apologizing, asking for help, expressing gratitude, checking understanding, showing relief, arranging plans, giving achievement compliments, ending calls politely, strong opinions, polite information requests, encouragement, and closing friendly conversations. Let's continue building your natural English with phrases native speakers use in daily conversations, especially when meeting new people, sharing opinions, expressing emotions, and maintaining smooth interaction. We'll begin with introductions, something you use anytime you meet someone new. Instead of only saying, "My name is," try these friendlier expressions. Repeat after me. "Hi, I'm Natasha. Nice to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you. I've heard so much about you." Great! Imagine you're introduced to a new coworker. Instead of simply saying your name, you can say, "Hi, I'm Natasha. It's a pleasure to meet you." This sounds warm and confident. Now, let's practice phrases for keeping a conversation going with new people, especially helpful when you want to avoid awkward silence. Repeat. "So, what do you do for work or study? How do you usually spend your weekends? Have you been living here long?" Excellent. Imagine you're at a gathering and want to start a friendly conversation. You could ask, "How do you usually spend your weekends?" This feels natural and open. Next, let's learn phrases for politely refusing offers, so you can say no without sounding rude. Repeat after me. "Thanks, but I'm good for now. I really appreciate it, but maybe another time." "That's kind of you, but I'll pass." Perfect. Imagine someone offers you more food, but you're full. Instead of saying no, you can say, "That's kind of you, but I'll pass." Polite, gentle, and natural. Now let's move into compliments in social situations, an important way to build positive connections. Repeat. "You look great today. That's a wonderful idea. You did amazing work on this." Good. Imagine your friend shows you their artwork. Instead of just saying, "Good," you might say, "You did amazing work on this. Truly impressive." This makes your compliment meaningful and sincere. Next, let's practice phrases for showing agreement in casual conversations. Repeat after me. "That makes sense. I totally get what you mean. I see where you're coming from." Great! Imagine someone tells you that learning English is easier when you enjoy the process. You could respond, "That makes sense. I totally get what you mean." This builds connection and trust. Now let's learn polite disagreement phrases, very useful when sharing a different perspective without sounding confrontational. Repeat. "I'm not sure I agree with that. I see it differently. That's an interesting point, but I think..." Excellent. Imagine someone says, "Studying grammar is boring." You can reply, "That's an interesting point, but I think grammar helps build stronger sentences." Polite and thoughtful. Next, let's practice asking for repetition, something every speaker needs from time to time. Repeat after me. "Could you say that again, please?" "Sorry, I didn't catch that. Would you mind repeating that?" Good. Imagine you're in a noisy cafe and don't hear clearly. You can say, "Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you repeat it?" This is polite and natural. Now, let's explore phrases that show curiosity, perfect for deeper conversations. Repeat. "That's fascinating. Tell me more about it." "Wow, how did that happen?" Excellent. Imagine someone tells you about a trip abroad. You could say, "That's fascinating. Tell me more about it." This encourages the speaker and keeps the conversation alive. Next, let's practice making promises a common part of daily communication. Repeat, "You can count on me. I'll make sure it gets done. I won't let you down." Good! Imagine your friend needs help moving. You can confidently say, "Don't worry. You can count on me. I won't let you down." Strong and supportive. Now let's move into phrases for apologizing in everyday situations, essential for showing responsibility and politeness. Repeat after me. "I'm really sorry about that. Please forgive me. I didn't mean to cause trouble." Excellent. Imagine you accidentally interrupt someone. You can say, "I'm really sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt." This shows awareness and respect. Next, let's learn phrases for asking for help politely. Repeat. "Could you give me a hand with this? Would you mind helping me for a moment? Can you show me how to do this?" Very good. Imagine you're trying to assemble furniture and need assistance. You can say, "Would you mind helping me for a moment?" This is perfectly natural. Now let's expand on gratitude phrases, deeper expressions that show appreciation. Repeat after me. "That means a lot to me. I really appreciate your help. Thanks a million." Excellent. Imagine your friend helps you study. You can say, "That means a lot to me. I really appreciate your help." This feels heartfelt and sincere. Next, let's practice checking understanding, incredibly useful in conversations, classes, and meetings. Repeat. "Does that make sense? Are you following me? Do you see what I mean?" Great. Imagine you're explaining a concept to a friend. You might say, "Do you see what I mean?" This keeps the conversation clear and interactive. Now let's learn phrases for showing relief, something we feel often in real life. Repeat after me. "That's a relief. I'm so glad to hear that. What a weight off my mind." Good. Imagine you were worried about your exam results and finally got good news. You could say, "That's a relief. I'm so glad to hear that." Now let's practice making arrangements essential for planning events or hangouts. Repeat. "Shall we meet tomorrow at 5? Let's plan for next week. Does Friday work for you?" Excellent. Imagine you're coordinating with a friend. You can say, "Does Friday work for you? Let's plan something fun." Now let's learn achievement compliments, powerful phrases that show recognition. Repeat after me. "That's impressive. You should be proud of yourself. You nailed it." Great. Imagine your friend wins an award. You could say, "You nailed it. You should be proud of yourself." Now let's practice ending phone calls politely, something native speakers do often. Repeat. "It was nice talking to you. Thanks for your time. Talk to you soon." Amazing job. Imagine you finished discussing plans with a friend. You can say, "It was nice talking to you. Talk to you soon." Next, let's work on strong opinion phrases, helpful when you want to emphasize your viewpoint clearly. Repeat after me. "I'm absolutely certain. Without a doubt. I firmly believe." Great. Imagine someone asks if daily practice improves fluency. You can say, "Without a doubt. I firmly believe it does." Now let's learn polite ways to request information. Repeat. "Could you tell me more about that? Would you mind explaining that to me? Can you give me some details, please?" Excellent. Imagine someone tells you they got a new job. You can politely ask, "That's great. Could you tell me more about it?" Next, let's practice encouragement phrases for nervous or uncertain friends. Repeat after me. "You'll do great. I'm sure of it. Just be yourself. That's enough. You've prepared well. Trust yourself." Very good. Finally, let's practice friendly conversation closings. Repeat. "Let's catch up again soon. Take care of yourself. See you next time." Imagine you're wrapping up a conversation after class. You can say, "Let's catch up again soon. See you next time." In the next part, we'll continue with additional advanced natural phrases, deeper conversational flow, emotional intelligence expressions, professional English, social English, and real-life examples to complete the 125-phrase journey smoothly. In this part, we'll move into the world of professional English expressions used daily in offices, meetings, emails, and workplace conversations across English-speaking countries. These phrases help you sound confident, competent, and respectful in any formal environment. Let's begin with phrases for responding when you don't have an answer yet, something that happens often at work. Instead of simply saying, "I don't know," native speakers use phrases that show responsibility and willingness to follow up. Repeat after me. "I'll find out and get back to you. I'll need to double-check that. Let me confirm and I'll let you know." Excellent. Imagine your manager asks about the deadline for a project, and you're not sure. You can respond, "I'll need to double-check that and get back to you." This sounds reliable and professional. Next, let's practice polite request phrases frequently used in offices, emails, and team communication. Repeat. "Could you please send me this by tomorrow? I'd appreciate it if you could share the details. Would you be able to send that over?" Perfect. Imagine you need a report from a colleague. Instead of saying, "Send me the report," you can say, "I'd appreciate it if you could send the report to me by this afternoon." Polite, clear, and professional. Now let's explore phrases for giving updates, which are extremely common in meetings and team check-ins. Repeat after me. "I've completed the task you asked for. Here's the update on the project so far. Everything is on track." Great. Imagine you're updating your manager. You could say, "Everything is on track. I'll send a full update later today." Confident and organized. Next, let's practice phrases for offering your opinion professionally, useful during meetings and group discussions. Repeat. "In my experience, from my perspective, what I've noticed is..." Excellent. Imagine your team is discussing productivity tools. You might say, "In my experience, using shared calendars helps everyone stay organized." This sounds thoughtful and grounded. Now let's focus on polite disagreement in professional settings, one of the most valuable communication skills. Repeat after me. "I see it a little differently. That's an interesting point, but I respect your opinion. However." Very good. Imagine someone suggests an approach you don't agree with. You can respond, "I respect your opinion. However, I see it a little differently." This keeps the conversation constructive. Next, let's learn phrases for social conversations with colleagues, commonly used during breaks or before meetings. Repeat. "How's your day going so far? Did you do anything fun over the weekend? How are things at your end?" Excellent. Imagine you're starting a conversation before a meeting. You could say, "How's your day going so far?" This builds friendly rapport. Now let's practice phrases for handling delays politely, essential for professional communication. Repeat after me. "I'm running a little behind schedule. Sorry for the delay. I appreciate your patience. There's been a slight change of plans." Great. Imagine you're late to submit a task. Instead of panicking, you can say, "Sorry for the delay. I'm running a little behind schedule, but it will be ready soon." Clear and respectful. Next, let's learn phrases for showing enthusiasm at work, which help create a positive and collaborative environment. Repeat. "I'd be happy to help with that. That sounds exciting. I'm looking forward to working on this." Good. Imagine your manager gives you a new assignment. You can respond with enthusiasm. "That sounds exciting. I'm looking forward to working on this." Now let's move into expressing gratitude in formal settings, which requires a slightly more polished tone. Repeat after me. "Thank you for your support. I really appreciate your guidance. I'm grateful for your help on this." Excellent. Imagine your supervisor helps you understand a project. You can say, I really appreciate your guidance on this. Thank you. This expresses respect and professionalism. Finally, let's practice closing professional conversations politely, such as ending meetings, phone calls, or online discussions. Repeat. Thank you for your time today. I look forward to speaking with you again. Let's stay in touch. Great. Imagine you're ending a business call. You can say, Thank you for your time today. I look forward to speaking with you again. This leaves a strong, positive impression. In the next part, we'll explore friendly neighborhood conversations, personal opinion phrases, strong casual agreements, expressing doubt politely, deeper curiosity, calming tense conversations, giving encouragement, polite interruptions in casual settings, expressing excitement, and ending casual chats naturally. In this part, we'll shift back into everyday social English, the kind you use with neighbors, acquaintances, classmates, and friends. These phrases help you sound warm, confident, emotionally intelligent, and naturally fluent in daily conversations. Let's begin with phrases for friendly chats with neighbors or acquaintances, perfect for casual encounters in your community. Repeat after me. Good to see you again. How's everything with you? It's been a while, hasn't it? Great. Imagine you run into a neighbor after not seeing them for several weeks. Instead of just saying, Hi, you can say, Good to see you again. How's everything with you? This feels warm, natural, and friendly. Now let's practice phrases for expressing personal opinions politely, useful in casual conversations where you want to sound thoughtful without being too direct. Repeat. Personally, I feel, as far as I'm concerned, what I believe is excellent. Imagine you're discussing travel preferences with a friend. You could say, Personally, I feel that solo travel teaches you a lot about yourself. This sounds natural and reflective. Next, let's learn strong but friendly agreement phrases, great for connecting with others during conversations. Repeat after me. Totally, for sure, absolutely. Good. Imagine someone says, Coffee makes mornings better. You could respond, For sure, absolutely true. Short, simple, and natural. Now let's explore phrases for expressing doubt politely, without sounding negative or dismissive. Repeat. I'm not convinced. I have my doubts about that. I'm not really sure about this. Excellent. Imagine someone says, Learning English is easy if you watch one video a week. You could reply, I'm not convinced. I think it takes more consistent practice. This keeps the conversation respectful and clear. Next, let's practice curiosity phrases, perfect for diving deeper into someone's experiences or stories. Repeat after me. How did you get into that? How did you get into that? What got you interested in this? That sounds interesting. Can you share more? Perfect. Imagine a coworker says they've started learning photography. Instead of simply saying, Nice, you can ask, That sounds interesting. What got you interested in this? This shows genuine curiosity. Now let's learn phrases for calming, tense, or emotional conversations, something native speakers do often to show empathy and maintain peace. Repeat. Let's take a step back. I understand your feelings. Let's try to find a solution together. Great! Imagine your friend is stressed about a group project. You can say, I understand your feelings. Let's try to find a solution together. This helps build trust. Next, let's practice encouragement phrases powerful when someone is working toward a goal or facing challenges. Repeat after me. Keep it up. You're doing amazing. Don't give up. You're almost there. Excellent. Imagine your friend is training for a marathon. You can say, You're doing amazing. Keep it up. You're almost there. This gives support and motivation. Now let's learn phrases for polite interruptions in casual settings, useful when you want to join a conversation without sounding rude. Repeat, sorry. Can I just say something? If I could add one thing, can I jump in for a second? Good. Imagine you're in a group chat with friends and want to share your thought. You can say, sorry. Can I just say something? It's polite and natural. Next, let's explore excited reactions, expressions that show energy and enthusiasm in casual situations. Repeat after me. I'm so pumped about this. This is awesome. I can't wait to do this. Great. Imagine your friend tells you about a fun weekend plan. Instead of just saying, nice, you could say, this is awesome. I can't wait to do this. Much more expressive and lively. Finally, let's practice natural, casual goodbyes, used constantly in everyday conversations. Repeat. I'd better get going. It was nice catching up. Talk to you later. Excellent. Imagine you finish talking with a coworker after lunch. Instead of only saying bye, you can say, it was nice catching up. Talk to you later. Friendly, smooth, and natural. In the next part, we'll begin closing out the script with additional travel expressions, deeper emotional intelligence phrases, everyday connectors, advanced small talk tools, and final guidance to help the viewer continue practicing and improving fluency. In this part, we'll continue strengthening your real-life English with deeper emotional expressions, situational travel phrases, and conversational tools that native speakers use in daily communication. These expressions help you sound calm, confident, friendly, and fluent in any situation. Let's begin with additional travel and direction phrases, especially useful when navigating unfamiliar places. Repeat after me. Is this the bus that goes to? Where can I buy a ticket? Does this train stop at? Great. Imagine you're waiting for a bus, but you're not sure if it's the right one. You can ask, excuse me, is this the bus that goes to the city center? This is exactly how native speakers ask for confirmation. Now let's practice phrases for asking locals for help when you're lost or unsure. Repeat. Could you point me in the right direction? Is it walking distance from here? Should I take a bus or a taxi? Excellent. Imagine you're trying to find a museum. Instead of saying, where museum, you can say, could you point me in the right direction to the museum? Polite, natural, and clear. Next, let's learn phrases for dealing with transportation issues, something travelers face often. Repeat after me. When is the next bus coming? Is this seat taken? Where can I find the taxi stand? Good. Imagine you're at a busy station. You might say, is this seat taken? Do you mind if I sit here? This is friendly and respectful. Now let's shift into emotional intelligence phrases, expressions that help you understand people better and respond with care. Repeat. How are you holding up? Do you want to talk about it? I'm here if you need anything. Great. Imagine your friend seems stressed. Instead of only asking, are you okay? You can say, how are you holding up? I'm here if you need anything. This feels more meaningful and supportive. Next, let's learn phrases that help you check on someone gently, without sounding too direct. Repeat. Just wanted to check in on you. How have you been feeling lately? Is everything all right with you? Excellent. Imagine a coworker has been quiet lately. You can say, just wanted to check in on you. How have you been feeling lately? This shows care and awareness. Now let's explore reassurance phrases, useful when someone feels nervous or uncertain. Repeat after me. You're not alone in this. We can work through it together. It's completely understandable. Good. Imagine your classmate is worried about making a mistake in English. You could say, it's completely understandable. You're not alone in this. Kind, supportive, and encouraging. Next, let's practice offering support in a gentle, natural way, used often among friends and teammates. Repeat. Let me know if there's anything I can do. I'm here for you. You can always count on me. Great. These phrases help build trust and deepen relationships. Now let's focus on advanced everyday connectors, phrases that help your stories and explanations flow smoothly. Repeat after me. Anyway, where was I? So, just to continue, that being said, excellent. Imagine you're telling a story and get slightly distracted. You can seamlessly continue with, anyway, where was I? Oh, right, the part about the train. This keeps your storytelling natural and engaging. Next, let's practice more advanced small talk tools, questions native speakers commonly use to build deeper conversations. Repeat. What's been the highlight of your week? Anything exciting coming up? What have you been focusing on lately? Perfect. Imagine you're catching up with a friend. You can say, what's been the highlight of your week? This invites real conversation without feeling repetitive. Now, let's explore phrases for showing thoughtful listening, something that makes conversations feel rich and interactive. Repeat after me. I see what you mean. That must have been interesting. I can imagine how that felt. Great. Imagine your friend tells you about a difficult day. Instead of saying only, oh, you can say, I can imagine how that felt. Thanks for sharing. This deepens connection. Let's continue with phrases for softening strong statements, useful for being polite while still expressing your idea. Repeat. From what I can tell, as far as I understand, it seems to me that. Excellent. These phrases are especially helpful when you don't want your statement to sound too direct. Now let's practice phrases for bringing conversations back on track, used when discussions drift off topic. Repeat after me. Getting back to what we were saying. So, as I was mentioning earlier, let's circle back to that. Great. Imagine your group gets distracted during a meeting. You can say, let's circle back to that main point. This is very common in workplace English. Next, let's reinforce phrases for encouraging someone to continue speaking a key skill in natural conversation. Repeat. Go on, I'm listening. And then what happened? That sounds important. Tell me more. Excellent. Imagine your friend pauses mid-story. You can say, go on, I'm listening. This motivates them to continue. Now let's practice phrases for politely correcting someone, useful when you need to clarify something without sounding harsh. Repeat after me. Actually, it's a little different. Let me clarify that part. I think there might be a misunderstanding. Great. These phrases help you maintain clarity and respect. Next, let's explore phrases for ending casual conversations gracefully, so you never sound abrupt. Repeat. I won't keep you any longer. Let's catch up again soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Perfect. Imagine you're finishing a chat while walking home. You can say, I won't keep you any longer. Enjoy the rest of your day. Sounds warm and polite. Before we wrap up today's session, let's add a few final conversational tools that native speakers use constantly. Tools that help you sound relaxed, confident, and naturally fluent in any situation. Let's begin with phrases for expressing relief or comfort, something people say often after stressful or uncertain situations. Repeat after me. That's a huge relief. I'm glad everything worked out. I feel so much better now. Excellent. Imagine you finally receive good news after waiting nervously. You might say, that's a huge relief. I feel so much better now. This feels natural and emotionally expressive. Now let's explore phrases for showing appreciation in deeper, more meaningful ways, especially when someone supports you or shares something important. Repeat. I really appreciate you saying that. That means more than you know. Thank you for being so thoughtful. Great. Imagine a friend encourages you before a big presentation. You might respond, I really appreciate you saying that. It means more than you know. This strengthens connection. Next, let's practice phrases for politely ending longer conversations, helpful when you need to wrap things up without sounding rushed. Repeat after me. I should get going soon. Let's continue this another time. We'll talk more about this later. Excellent. Imagine you're chatting with a coworker after work. You can say, I should get going soon, but let's continue this another time. Smooth, natural, and friendly. Now let's look at phrases for showing confidence in your own decisions, something native speakers do often. Repeat. I'm confident about this. I trust my judgment. I think this is the right move. Great. These phrases help you express certainty without sounding too forceful. Next, let's explore phrases for checking how someone feels emotionally, which is a big part of real-life English communication. Repeat. How are you feeling about everything? Do you want to talk through it together? What's been on your mind lately? Perfect. Imagine your friend seems distracted. You could ask, what's been on your mind lately? Want to talk through it together? This shows emotional awareness and support. Now let's reinforce phrases for encouraging reflection, something native speakers do in deeper conversations. Repeat after me. What did you learn from that? How do you feel now? What would you do differently next time? Great. These phrases help you grow emotionally and communicate more thoughtfully. Next, let's learn phrases for expressing hope, which you'll hear all the time in everyday English. Repeat. I really hope things turn out well. I'm hoping for the best. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Excellent. Imagine someone is waiting for important results. You can say, I'm hoping for the best. Let's keep our fingers crossed. This feels friendly and uplifting. Now let's add phrases for agreeing with empathy, a subtle but very natural part of native speech. Repeat after me. I know exactly what you mean. I've felt that way too. That makes a lot of sense to me. Great. These phrases help you connect with people on a deeper level. Before we close, let's learn gentle phrases that help you switch topics, a skill native speakers use constantly. Repeat. By the way, before I forget, that reminds me of something. Speaking of that. Perfect. These transitions make your speech smooth and fluent. Now that we've covered all the essential tools, let's bring everything together with a natural recap designed to feel like the ending of a high-quality English podcast. Take a moment, breathe, then continue listening. Today, we explored 125 real, practical English phrases that native speakers use every day in conversations with friends, colleagues, family members, and strangers. These phrases help you start conversations naturally, respond with confidence, express opinions politely, show empathy and interest, handle difficult moments, navigate travel situations, stay calm under pressure, connect with people emotionally, end conversations smoothly. Every phrase you practice today is a real tool, something you can use the next time you talk to someone in English. Now here's the most important part. Fluency does not come from memorizing long lists of vocabulary. It comes from using the language, hearing it often, repeating it out loud, and letting it become part of your natural speech. So, keep practicing. Listen to this video again tomorrow. Shadow the phrases. Repeat them until they feel comfortable, until your brain starts thinking in English without effort. And remember this: every minute you spend practicing brings you closer to the version of yourself who speaks English with confidence, clarity, and ease. You are improving even when you don't see it. You're building fluency day by day. Before we end, thank you for choosing to learn with English in motion today. Your time, your focus, and your dedication matter. I'm proud of you for being here, and I hope this lesson helped you feel more capable and motivated. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next English podcast. We upload daily listening and speaking practice to help you become fluent faster. Keep going. Stay confident. Keep speaking. And I'll see you again in the next lesson.